Absolutely.
who knows what's going to, there are a lot of black swan events that could take place.
Absolutely.
Whether it be war or, recession.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. Tim Bray here. Mike Mish, Norcom. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
A lot of changes in the marketplace right now.
Lot of changes, a lot of movement.
A lot of anxiety.
A lot of anxiety in the marketplace. There's definitely some unknowns as we move into the new year in 2023 that are going to be kind of interesting to see how they play out.
From your perspective, what are you seeing?
I mean, it's definitely transitioning from a totally different market than the last couple of years. You're going back to the traditional first-time buyer. Lower down payment programs are much more important right now than a year or two ago, or 6 months ago even. And the volume, there's a lot less volume. I read something, I think it was on Forbes a couple days ago. They said that in 2021 there was about $4.4 trillion in mortgages written, and they're estimating 2023 to be somewhere around 1.2.
Holy smokes.
So that obviously had a lot of the refinance business that was built into it with the lower rates, but there's certainly a large downturn in the overall purchase market,
But there are a lot of agents that have gotten into, and lenders, in the last few years, because there was almost low-hanging fruit.
Yep.
Easy money.
Right.
Where you had to do work, but you didn't have to do a ton. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of advisory involved.
No.
So where do you see that going?
I see a lot of people for different reasons exiting the real estate and the mortgage industry, I think.
What you doing?
Yeah, I mean, the market goes through a cleansing process every so many years. It happened after 08, 09. And when these time periods happen, people, aren't just going to, go on the internet or go here or go there and just work with anybody. They're going to look for more of an advisory role in somebody that they can trust, knowing the ups and downs of the market, where it might be going. Nobody can ever predict the future. But somebody that can advise them on, things like you see videos on. Is now a good time to buy? How is the market in Connecticut different than the market in Texas or Florida or California? All of those things, and getting real honest advice, not just it's always a good time to buy or it's always a good time to refinance.
But to their defense, this is their living.
Yeah.
So your goal is to try. I even saw Dave Ramsey recently making statements, and it's like, hold on, guys. Dave Ramsey sells leads.
Right.
He's a lead generation source. So you got to take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
He's great at what he does if you're trying to get rid of debt.
Right.
Don't listen to Dave Ramsey regarding buying real estate to some extent.
Yeah.
Or stay in your lane is what I'm saying. So you're a fiduciary. You're trying to help your client make really good decisions. So when somebody asks that question to me or to you regarding is now a good time to buy or sell, all that is it leads you to ask that person a ton of questions to try to figure out if it's a good time for you to buy or sell, depending on your current situation that you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
And with location with us, it's like, okay, which town are you looking at? Which price ranges are you looking at? We're trying to figure out who's in control here.
Yeah.
What's your goal? How long are you going to be living there? If you're in the Navy and you just got stationed here, you can buy real estate, but your plan B is maybe to be working with Adam Mancini at Ann McBride Real Estate, knowing that you're going to be renting this thing afterwards.
Right.
So it's having a plan B, I think.
It's, is it a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, 7-year plan? People are going to be here short-term, long-term. You have to ask those questions. And then as consumers, doing due diligence, like you guys talk about on a lot of your videos and is, talked about here at Seaport a lot. As a consumer, you're working with people that are making their living from a transaction that you're involved in. So as a responsible consumer, you have to do some due diligence on your end. And I always encourage people, talk to a couple different lenders.
Absolutely.
Talk to a couple different. My personality might not work with one person, might work better with another. Nowadays, it's not so much. You could go to 10 different lenders, and they're if they're pricing it outright and looking at the situation correctly, they are probably going to be pretty close in terms of interest rate and costs and things because of, where rates are, contraction within the mortgage industry market. But who do you feel comfortable with? Whose advice do you take? Those are the important things. Do you trust that if now's a good time to lock your interest rate versus floating your interest rate? You really have to just put your faith and trust in the person, and you can't just do that just from the snap of a finger.
I call it seeking alpha. And seeking alpha is say, okay, the market has a standard, but when somebody comes to you or they come to me, you're not only going to get the standard, but you're getting alpha.
Right.
You're getting above and beyond. So you're going to get that person that says, okay, I'm thinking of buying right now. Can you tell me where I am in the cycle? Or maybe they don't even know what cycles are.
Right.
But they realize that maybe we're at the top of a cycle. And if you plan on living in this house for less than 5 years, then you probably should put some more money down.
Right.
Or as opposed to like advising somebody that if you're at the bottom of a cycle, let's use the bank's money as much as we can. Put as little down as you can and ride that thing back up. So it's a lot of it's strategy.
Right.
And I think that's what's important in times like this, especially when agents, lenders, everybody's running for the door.
Right.
Hey, we're not a tour guide anymore. And somebody asks you how the market is, and you say, market's doing great. I'm really busy. Okay. That's the answer that I get.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Right. But are you busy to be busy, or are you busy because you're closing loans or closing transactions? Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's so important to be, your clients, you've created this scenario in which you've got a huge sphere, big influence out there. So we don't worry. And I do have the same thing. So I'm not so worried in a down market. In fact, I believe that those individuals who are true fiduciaries, like myself and you, wait for opportunities like this to happen because it thins the pack.
Mm-hmm.
We're left advising people to do the right things, and our business actually catapults to the next stratosphere because of something like this. Yeah,
people are in times of uncertainty. People are looking for those to work with that have a track record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're looking for a port in the storm type of thing.
Yeah.
If things are crazy and not going, and it's not on that just upward trend, and there can be some ups and downs that a standard market or a standard economy has, which we didn't have for the last couple of years. We were just kind of skyrocketing. There was going to be an adjustment at some point because we couldn't keep on a sustainable path that we were on for the last couple of years.
And to be quite frank and honest here, like you mentioned previously, we don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
So this is totally, I know some really brilliant economists who are looking at this saying, this hasn't happened before.
Right.
Where are we going from here? I don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing we can look at is look at certain areas, certain communities. Do the incomes support the properties and their values that are there in those communities?
Absolutely.
But that's I think we'll keep people posted, as we learn more.
Yeah. I think you're going to, kind of see right now people are looking for somebody, like you said, a crystal ball, somebody to tell them, well, this is where it's going to be 12 months from now. People ask me all the time, well, where are rates going to be from, 8 months, 12 months? The best indications that we're seeing, our rates are probably going to settle. The Mortgage Bankers Association chief economist said they're probably going to be high fours, low fives by the end of 2023. He's been pretty much spot on with every prediction that he's had in the last couple of years. Whereas, for instance, like the National Association of Realtors chief economist said that rates would be in the high threes by the end of 2022.
Yeah. Lawrence June.
Rates were, mid sevens for a while there.
Right.
So,
and he means well.
Yeah.
He's doing his best.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Who knows what's going to? There are a lot of black swan events that could take place.
Absolutely.
Whether it be war or recession.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. But again, each area I think is very unique.
Yes.
We're not a Hartford. We're not a Providence. We're not a New York City. Southeastern Connecticut's a little different, though. You can lend in You're all over the place now.
Yeah, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Mass, Rhode Island, Virginia, Florida.
Awesome.
So adding more states, not so much to try to build a referral network in those spaces, but I did it so that in this area where southeastern Connecticut, where I was born and raised, and where you live, and southern Rhode Island, as retirees move to southern places,
You can help them.
or different vacation second homes, ski houses, that type of stuff, I would be able to help those. And honestly, another thing that I thought of when I did it was other people in the mortgage industry that I'm friendly with. Like, you have realtors that you're friendly with. I have people that are loan officers that I'm friendly with. They're not licensed, or their company's not licensed in other states. So, they feel comfortable calling me and saying, "Hey, Mike, I have a client. They know I'm not going to, try to work with that client in the future. It's like, I'm just going to help them because they're a good loan officer, and help their client in another state." So it was just kind of a branch out to do, other loans to help people when I can.
It's awesome. We appreciate everything you're doing and everything you do for our group.
Well, thank you.
Hey, onward. Here we go.
Absolutely.